Sally Eslin, the founder of Empowered Clothing. I'm dedicated to empower women entrepreneurs by sharing tools, tips, and resources through leadership, mindset, and more on my show, Finding Your Way with Sally.
Hi everyone. Yes, I'm Sally and I'm content creator and founder of Empowered Clothing. I share authentic and everyday issues for women over 50. So you can learn more about my products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. So today, one of my favorite topics is how to trust, believe and allow. And we'll be chatting shortly to transformative mindset coach and quantum activator healer, Renee Davis. But before we bring up Renee, I thought that just ties in so well with my frequency range of clothing. So this is the latest, one of the latest ranges that I've just launched, and it's linking in. You can see behind me, it's the 852 hertz, which is the hertz for the third chakra, and the third chakra is all about choosing to trust your gut, trust your inner GPS. It's located just between your eyebrows there. It links in, as I said, it links in with the third eye chakra, and which is located there. The color is dark blue and indigo. So I think the colors go really well with the 852 hertz there. People say when they're actually wearing the tops that they feel more in tune with their intuition, their inner knowing, their sensing. Like, it's amazing. And it's all about I choose to trust as the intention linking in there. So without further ado, let me bring up Renee, and I'll also introduce her as she's coming up. So Renee helps women activate their next level potential and to remember who the frick they are. Here we go. So that to give them the confidence to use their voice and show up as themselves in the world to experience true bliss and freedom. Welcome, Renee, to Finding Your Way with Sally. Woohoo!
Hi, Sally. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited.
So you're helping people remember to step up into their confidence, hey?
100% helping women remember who the frick they are.
Yeah. So today you've brought along an empowerment share. You have experienced a lot of disadvantages in your life, and you were very broken and ashamed for many years. But you learned to change your mindset, your attitude, and your perception to create a life that you never thought you would be living. Do you want to share a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. So as I've said, I've come from a lot of disadvantages. So from the age of 14, I was actually anorexic for 8 years. I've been an ice addict 3 times. I've recovered myself 3 times. I've been in family violence, and I've also been through domestic violence as well. I lost my mum a few years ago, and the way that I have learned to trust life is that life happens, but the thing is, life continues to go on after these experiences happen. And, I've made a choice that it does not change the way life is for me. Like, it's already happened. I get to choose how I get to live my life. So, with my mom, I'm like, she's passed. If I'm happy, she's not coming back. If I'm sad, she's not coming back. But all the things that have happened in my life, I look at them that they've happened for me, because the amount of lives that I've been able to help through what I've done and transform the lives of so many. That's why I always say that life has happened for me, not to me, and I'm able to help more people through what I've been through.
Yeah, and I mean, you've just glossed over all of that in because we don't have that huge amount of time. But working on your mindset, your attitude, and your whole perception to life. Like, you must have done you have done a complete 360 a number of times, like in your short-lived years, right? And it's just, we're talking about trust, believe, and allow, and how important is that around your mindset, your attitude, and your perception?
Oh, it's so important. It's really important to trust the process. And for me, it was always like everything is happening for me, and just also trusting. I had to learn to trust myself. I come up from a very dysfunctional family, and I really understood that it was dysfunctional, but the only way to change it was that I had to change that. No one could change that for me. So I really had to trust myself and the process, but I also had to learn to believe in myself. And I always believed that I could do it, but there was no evidence there. So I had to continue to keep putting one step forward to, just to find that belief in myself, to know that I could do this. And I would always just keep telling myself over and over and over in my head that I can do this, you can do this, you deserve better. And even on days when there was no evidence around, I had to keep telling myself that things were going to get better, and I wasn't going to stop until they got better. So, I look at my whole life, and I just cannot believe that I am who I am and where I am these days, because I've learned to allow allow the things to happen to me, but not live in them. I've made a decision to know that something happened to me, but it's not something that I live in.
Well, we absolutely learn and grow from every experience, but you need to write a book about your life and how you can empower people, through these experiences, be it little or big. We were even talking before we came on about you doing 45 hard, and you go, right, you have
Yes.
to get up. I'm getting up twice a day to do this, 45 minutes a day, just doing it, sticking it to it. 75 days is a long time.
Yeah, well, I just really said to myself that, mindset wise, like, so 75 hard is where you clean eat for 75 days, 2 workouts a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, 45 minutes each, 1 must be outside, like 2.5 liters of water, 10 pages of book a day. And like, I've done so many programs leading up to this. I haven't just gone 75 hard and I'm on day 44 and I'm killing it. Like, there's so many times where I've fallen off. But for me, it's really about like a staircase. When they say, look at the staircase, but look at the next step. And for me, so I always go, I'm falling down. But when I fell down, I'm just looking, I'm there, I'm at eye level with the next step going, how do I do this? And I always believe that if I keep asking the question, how, that the answer is going to come instead of going, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do this. So I always believe that if I continue to keep asking the question, that the answer is going to come.
Yeah. Oh, that's just music to my ears. And how important is trusting yourself, trusting in the process, trusting in that guidance within yourself as you've been through your journeys, right? Just trusting it will be okay.
But also trusting that I can make good choices after so many, I believe, not bad choices, but choices that cause a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. And, I have to trust the person I was becoming, because our programming is such a big part. Like, I was heavily programmed by how my mum was. And then I had to learn to trust who I really was. And, to trust that even though I'm on a different path, I needed to trust myself, even if other people didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I just had to continue to believe and trust in myself and trust what my intuition was telling me, and just continue to just trust my feelings and trust what was coming up. Because when we ask for greater things are going to move around, and we just need to keep trusting I'm trying to buy a house at the moment, and I'm just like, the right house is coming. Like, like not long ago I was bawling, and now I'm like, no, I'm trusting in me. I'm trusting that I trust that the right house is coming. It's not always easy, but it's just like a muscle. You need to continue to keep strengthening that mindset, which is just like a muscle, and just really trust in yourself.
Yeah. And you, of all people, like, you were so positive, and you are the living example of someone who embodies that trust, believe, allow statement, or that mantra. Like, you absolutely do. You brought along a share today, an expert tip. It doesn't matter how many times you fall down, you just have to get back up one more time, just one more time. Do you want to talk to that?
So this is how I've actually lived my life, like coming through my eating disorder and the abusive relationships. My current husband was an alcoholic for 10 years as well. And, each time that I fell down, I only had to worry about getting up one more time. I wasn't looking down the track. I wasn't looking 5 years ahead. I was like, how do I get back up? And like, even just as a previous, 2-3 months ago, I got married, and it did not work out the way it was meant to. And that hit me. And I wasn't thinking about, five months down the track, a year down the track. I was like, I just need to pull myself together, and I need to get back one more time. I don't need to worry about anything else except for this one moment, pulling myself together and getting back up one more time, because it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, because if you get up, you never fail. We do fail in life because that's how we grow, but you only it's only when you don't get up again that you actually quit. And I'm not quitting on life. I'm not quitting on myself. I'm not quitting on anything. It gets hard, but as long as I get back up one more time, I know that, it's all going to work out. I trust that if I get up one more time, it's all going to work out. So you just need to figure out how to get back up just one more time. Life's going to knock you down, and that's okay. But you just need to find it in yourself how to get back up one more time. Don't worry about if you're going to get knocked down again. You don't worry about that. You do not worry about anything else other than how do I get back to my positive mindset? How do I get back to feeling good in myself? How, and that's how I live my life always, because I just got to get back up one more time.
I've known you for a few years now, and I can honestly say you're one of the most positive people I've ever met, and who has gone through so many challenges and learning experiences along the way. And I highly, highly, highly encourage anybody who is struggling a little bit or needs that motivation or support to reach out to Renee, because she's such a special gift. You are such a special gift on this planet. So thank you. So today I've brought along an empowerment share as well. It's making me teary because, your journey is amazing, but you're just so positive, and it is literally just getting up that time and just knowing it will be okay. Things will be okay. That trust, you really have to dig deep. So my little share today is trusting yourself that it is possible, or just what we said, and that it will be okay. You got to believe in yourself. Belief is such a strong thing, isn't it? That you are worthy, because it's like a lot of people don't think that they're good enough, and then they're not worthy of receiving. And we just are. And in the process, you got to believe in the process that it will turn out okay. Like you're saying about the house, it's this door might shut, but it means something better's there. It's divine timing. The universe has bigger plans for us, right? And this is about allowing the universe to deliver its magic, to allow that things will be okay. So simple words, trust, believe, and allow. But when you actually embody them, and really live that and feel into it, it can be, well, it is life-changing, because it helps you navigate through these challenges in life. So, lots of heavy discussions today. But I also brought along a tip, and it's one that I often share with people. Live in the present moment. Connect into your inner wisdom and your knowing, to overcome that logical and protective mind, because it gets in the way. It's just like keeps, chattering away to us. And it's like, mate, sometimes I've got bigger plans in my head, right? And overcome the emotional heart, because fear gets in us, all this doubt, all these emotions start flowing. But when we dig deeper into trusting that gut instinct, it's going to draw us on the right way. I always say I follow the energy, because that's the only way I live my life these days. And I pretty much the same as well. Like, wow.
I love that, Sal, because I'm the same. Just follow that energy, like where you feel whole and complete, and where you feel that guiding you, and just trusting that. Like,
Yeah.
you never know where you're going or why you're going there until now you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I can see it now. So it's having that trust to know that you're on the right path. It doesn't need to make sense now, but how many times do you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I realize why that had to happen now. I do that all the time.
All the time. Like at the cover on one of my journals, it has someone walking up a mountain. They're not at the top, but when they stop and look back, they go, wow, what a journey. I've come up a long way. I've still got places to go, but wow, because it's important to recognize where we have been. So also in my Finding a Way shows, we pull a little card. So today we're pulling from the Believe deck, from the Bling Angel Believe deck, and let's just see what little words of wisdom come through. They're about gaining clarity, insight, and direction as we're going forward in life. And this one says, am I listening to my heart's desires? What comes up for you there? Am I listening to my heart's desires?
For me, no, I'm not. It's there. I can hear it, but I'm a little bit. I don't think scared is the word, but it's sometimes the unknown, and that's why trust is so important. To trust that you're going there, and I think for me the fear is not the doing, it's the fear is that I don't know anyone who's doing what I'm about to do. And so I'm really stepping into uncharted waters, and that's for me where I'm potentially not listening. I am on my way. For me, I'm saying it's a time thing. I don't have time, which I do have time, which I'm well aware of that. But yeah, it's just trusting that process. But I also need to become that person that needs to be that person. And I've realized so much how much I've learned in the last few months, how much I've transformed to be the person who's about to step into that next part of, what my heart desires, and knowing that, and believing in myself that I was born to do this.
Look, totally. And look, energetically, it is a time of we're creating space. So we have this big void in front of us and we don't know what we're stepping into, and it is fearful, but stick to the light and you'll be right. So just surround yourself with positive people, which you do, and reach out anytime for sure. So Renee, thank you so much for joining us on Finding Your Way with Sally. I'm going to drop you down into the green room, and you're so insightful. You're such a positive person. Anybody that needs some motivation, inspiration, just some coaching onwards, you do a plethora of things, also working with Arbonne. So there's so much greatness behind Renee, and we haven't had just a little time to scratch the surface. So absolutely reach out to Renee. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to pop you down.
Thanks, Sal.
We'll catch you again soon. So yes, join me for another episode of Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Central time, and Thursday at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And until then, just follow our mantra, trust, believe, and allow, because it opens so many doors for you. Okay, with that, I'll say goodbye, and we'll catch you again next week. Bye.
You can learn more about my services and products at sallyestlin.com. Make sure to join me every week for a new episode on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.